House of the Dragon Season 3 Episode 6 ended by completely changing the direction of the war. Criston Cole is dead, Corlys Velaryon has been captured, Aemond has found unexpected hope at Harrenhal, and Rhaenyra's grip on King's Landing is becoming weaker by the day. Rather than ending with one decisive battle, the episode positioned every major character for difficult choices that could define the rest of the season. Based on everything we have seen so far, Episode 7 will likely focus less on massive dragon battles and more on emotional confrontations, political maneuvering, and the consequences of decisions made in the previous episode. The biggest storyline is almost certain to be Alicent's mission to Harrenhal. After revealing Aemond's location to Rhaenyra, Alicent accepted an impossible task. Instead of sending assassins, Rhaenyra concluded that only someone Aemond truly trusts has any chance of getting close enough to kill him. That person is his own mother. This immediately creates one of the most emotionally charged situations of the entire season. Aemond has become increasingly isolated from the rest of his family. Despite everything that has happened, Alicent remains one of the few people he may still believe genuinely cares about him. That trust is exactly what makes this mission so dangerous. If Alicent reaches Harrenhal, the meeting is unlikely to begin with violence. Instead, viewers can probably expect a long and emotionally intense conversation between mother and son. Both characters have changed dramatically since the war began, and both carry enormous guilt. Alicent knows she is risking her son's life to save Helaena. Aemond believes he has sacrificed everything for his family. Neither of them is completely right or completely wrong, which is what makes the confrontation so compelling. There are several ways this meeting could unfold. Alicent may hesitate at the last moment because she cannot bring herself to kill her own son. Aemond may notice something is wrong and discover why she has really come. Or the entire situation could spiral out of control before either of them makes a decision. There is another major factor that cannot be ignored. Alice Rivers. She has become one of the most influential people in Aemond's life, and after Episode 6, their relationship appears stronger than ever. That means Alicent is not walking into Harrenhal to confront only Aemond. She is also stepping into Alice Rivers' world. Alice has consistently shown that she understands far more than she reveals. She has guided Aemond, comforted him during his lowest moments, and introduced him to one of the biggest mysteries of the season. There is every reason to believe she will play a decisive role if Alicent arrives. She may recognize Alicent's true intentions before Aemond does. She may manipulate both of them. Or she may force a confrontation that neither of them expected. Whatever happens, Harrenhal feels destined to become the emotional centerpiece of Episode 7. The dragon eggs are another storyline that should continue receiving significant attention. The discovery of 5 warm dragon eggs was far too important to disappear after only one episode. Those eggs represent hope, power, and the future of House Targaryen. For Aemond, they also represent the possibility that losing Vhagar does not have to define the rest of his life. Instead of obsessing over what he has lost, he may begin focusing on what could still be gained. It also seems likely that Alice will continue strengthening her relationship with him. Their conversation about both of them feeling cursed suggested that each sees something familiar in the other. They both believe they have lived lonely lives shaped by suffering and isolation. By speaking about building a future together and having children, Alice offered Aemond something he has rarely experienced: acceptance. If that relationship continues growing, Aemond may become even more detached from the Green leadership. Instead of rushing back into the war, he could begin believing that Harrenhal and Alice offer him a completely different future. At the same time, the responsibilities of the war may eventually force him to make a difficult choice. Does he remain hidden, protecting the dragon eggs and the life Alice imagines for them, or does he return to the battlefield where everyone still expects him to fight? Another major storyline will almost certainly revolve around Corlys Velaryon. Episode 6 ended with one of the Black's greatest allies falling into enemy hands. Being captured may actually be more dangerous than being killed. Corlys commands enormous respect throughout Westeros. He also represents the strength of House Velaryon and its powerful fleet. Keeping him alive gives the Greens countless opportunities. Aemond may attempt to pressure Corlys into changing sides. He may try using him to weaken the Velaryon fleet. He may even use Corlys as political leverage against Rhaenyra. For Rhaenyra, this creates another impossible decision. Does she organize a dangerous rescue mission? Does she negotiate? Or does she focus on protecting King's Landing while risking the loss of one of her closest supporters? Daemon is also unlikely to stay quiet. Throughout the season, he has repeatedly argued for aggressive action whenever the council hesitates. Corlys being captured could easily push Daemon toward another confrontation with Rhaenyra. If she continues choosing caution while Daemon demands immediate action, the cracks within their leadership will only grow larger. King's Landing itself is also expected to become even more unstable. Episode 6 made it painfully clear that ordinary people are losing faith in Rhaenyra. Food remains scarce. Crime is increasing. The City Watch has become less effective. Every complaint brought before the Queen reminds viewers that the war is affecting common people just as much as the great houses. Perhaps the strongest symbol of Rhaenyra's struggles came when the Iron Throne cut her finger. Whether viewed as superstition or symbolism, it reflected the growing pressure surrounding her reign. Episode 7 will likely continue exploring that isolation. The more problems arrive, the fewer solutions seem available. Instead of looking like a confident ruler, Rhaenyra may increasingly appear overwhelmed by the weight of the crown she fought so hard to claim. Tumbleton also remains one of the most unpredictable locations in the story. The relationship between Gwaine and Daeron appears far from stable. Daeron clearly feels trapped beneath Ormond's leadership, while Gwaine has become increasingly skeptical about the direction of the war. Ormond himself seems to be planning something much larger. His interest in Corlys suggests he is thinking beyond simple military victories. Rather than winning battles alone, he appears determined to reshape the political landscape in favor of the Greens. The failed assassination attempt is also likely to make everyone inside Tumbleton far more cautious. Security will probably tighten. Trust will become even harder to earn. Every stranger may now be viewed as a potential assassin. Hugh's storyline could also take a darker turn. His reunion with his wife ended in disappointment rather than happiness. Instead of celebrating his new status as a dragon rider, he discovered that the people closest to him no longer recognize the man he has become. That rejection could make Hugh increasingly reckless. Characters who feel they have nothing left to lose often become the most dangerous people in this world. Several other storylines are also worth watching. Helena's condition may continue deteriorating after Alicent leaves King's Landing. Her prophetic abilities have become increasingly important, and another vision could dramatically influence events before the season reaches its climax. Rhaenyra remains trapped under Lady Jane Eyre's watchful eye after risking everything to pursue Sheepstealer. Her story still feels unfinished, and new information could force her into another difficult decision. Meanwhile, Aegon, Tywin Lannister, and Larry Strong are traveling toward Essos. Episode 7 may finally reveal what awaits them there and whether they can secure the allies they desperately need. Another character worth watching is Ulf. After being publicly humiliated by Daemon, resentment is almost certainly beginning to grow. Feeling disrespected while possessing the power of a dragon is a dangerous combination. If his anger continues building, he could become one of the season's most unpredictable wild cards. Overall, Episode 7 appears positioned as the episode of consequences rather than victories. Episode 6 placed every major piece on the board. Now those pieces are ready to collide. The emotional confrontation between Alicent and Aemond feels like the most likely centerpiece of the episode. Corlys' capture should place enormous pressure on Rhaenyra. Daemon's frustration may finally push him beyond the limits of patience. The Greens are becoming increasingly aggressive, while the Blacks continue struggling with growing instability inside King's Landing. If these storylines unfold as expected, Episode 7 may not deliver the biggest battle of the season, but it could deliver some of its most powerful character moments. Every major player is being forced into impossible choices, and with trust disappearing on both sides, the next chapter of the Dance of the Dragons may prove even more dangerous than the battles themselves.